Hey everyone, for Christmas this year I got myself an EVO GP-Pro. So this is a 3-axis gimbal. It'll keep your shots nice and steady, and it looks awesome when you see the gimbal shots done properly. Now, this was especially ordered for the GoPro Session. I love it, I love this camera, but the footage is kind of shaky, which is why I wanted to get the gimbal. And I got the one that was called GoPro Session, right? Do you think it would fit? But lo and behold, you open the box, what you get is the gimbal itself, the batteries, manual, one look at this gimbal, and the head for it, and the mount. You can tell that there's just no way you're gonna get this GoPro Session onto this. So, you know, I gave it a whirl, stripped the GoPro of its frame, of its cage. I thought, you know, maybe there's a way of getting this frame here to fit the GoPro. Maybe that way so it doesn't cover the lens, but no. This is made for the older type GoPro, so the bigger ones. I checked the manual. There's certainly nothing beyond install GoPro in camera tray. Okay, not particularly helpful. I checked online at the EVO Gimbal homepage.com. I checked YouTube and the EVO channel, nothing there either. But luckily, buried in the bottom of the mailing bag was this thing. Little bag of spare pieces. Like somebody kind of forgotten to put them in the box and they threw them into the mailing bag instead. So I figured this must be the solution, and it was, but it wasn't clear to me how to adapt. So let me just show you how, in case somebody else has a problem this Christmas or any other time. So in the bag we got a couple of 1/4-inch screws. We have a typical GoPro type mount, and then you have some tiny screws inside a bag and a little torsion tool. You figure you got to take the other regular GoPro mount off first. And behind here, same side as the brass tightening screws, there are tiny T6 torsion screws right there and there. So that's really what you need to use to open it up. Now you could use this as a little tool they sent you, and it works, but I have a jeweler's little tool here, actually, which is easier to use. It's just a T6 bit on it. Unscrew these screws. You do have to give it a bit of force in the beginning because they're factory mounted, so it's just like 1/8 of a turn, and it goes and it loosens up. So it just comes right off. This is the frame. That's off now, and unless you have another GoPro, then just throw that to one side. Right, so we want to stick this GoPro type mount onto the gimbal head, like so. So first of all, don't do what I did in the part that I just cut away. Don't put it this way. In fact, look for the little indents here around where the screws will go. Let see if I can focus that up for you. Right there, right? So it fits, machine tooling fits pretty well right there. Look for the little indents where the screws go. And then the screws that come with the Session mount are actually just a bit longer than the ones that were on there. So that's how you tell them apart if you mix them up. Get them situated, use the tool that came with the box, or your jeweler's tool that I have. It's a T6 torsion. It's the size of the head you want. Get the screws in there properly, like so. And then just screw it home. Make sure these are nice and tight too, because you don't want to drop your camera or have the head come off the gimbal. That'll happen. Right, so once you have the GoPro mount onto the top of the EVO gimbal, make sure the logo is the right way up. Right, and this thing will dance around, so get this little charging port that you see here. Get that towards the bottom. Logo up charging port to the bottom. Logo, charging port. Now if you do that, hold it steady, you can slide on your GoPro like so. Right? Line up the holes in the GoPro mount with the EVO gimbal mount right there. Once those holes there are lined up properly, use this little 1/4" screw you got with package. Just carefully thread it in from the bottom, right, from where the charging port is, in the bottom of the camera, and then use the IKEA type tool that they sent with the little bag to tighten that up properly. Not too hard because it's plastic you're screwing into, but just enough that it'll hold the camera in place securely. Now when you're done, it'll look like this. I don't have power in this thing, so I can't turn it on and balance it for you, but I'll do that in the next video. So from the back, you'll have the top of the EVO gimbal. You'll have the pan and tilt gimbal on the side. You'll have the GoPro Session with the button up top, so it's actually filming the correct angle, not to, you know, turn 90 degrees or upside down. Even though you can adjust for that in post, it's just a hassle. So make sure that's done the right way. There you have it. That's how you attach your GoPro Session to the EVO Gimbal GP-Pro handheld gimbal for Hero Session that comes without any instruction whatsoever about how to attach the GoPro Session. Thanks.